Hi, my tarot loves. Welcome to another edition of Decks I Did Not Get to in 2024. This is the US Games editions. Now, they sent me a bunch of decks and I just ran out of time. Oops. So, thank you firstly to US Game Systems for sending me some lovely goodies to show you all. And we're going to swap over those cameras and go through them together. And if this is the first time you have stopped by my corner of the intertubes, I'm Ethany. I'm a tarot author, reader, teacher, and high priestess, and I share lots of tarot goodness and magical goodness on my channel. So thanks for meeting me and coming back if you are one of my bumblebees. So let's swap over the cameras and jump into the US Game Systems edition, both tarot and oracle decks I didn't get to in 2024. Find Your Magic Tarot is written by Julia Manzini and illustrated by Sarah Rotblich. And this is one of those decks that comes in like a pull-out, and it has a little box, a box within a box, so that they don't fall out, which I get, but I don't understand the application, the practicality of that, right? It's like, just use a different box maybe, but hey, what do I know? Okay, so these are the backs. It does come with a nice chunky little guidebook, which we'll get to. This is, my fingerprints are all over this already. This feels like to me a baby witch training deck. The cardstock it's very, very shiny lamination. So, and it's going to bend. So here's the thing. If you're getting a deck because you like the art and you want to just collect it, then cool. If you're getting a deck and you want to work with it and then you bitch and moan that the deck actually looks like it's been worked with, like, what are you even doing? Of course it's going to wear. And yes, I understand you're paying good money for the cardstock. And yes, I understand it's frustrating when cardstock is just downright shit. This isn't shit. It's just that type of cardstock that if you are rough with it, it's going to happen. But yeah, normal wear and tear is going to happen if you're using it. What I think this is a great, and what I think maybe let me correct myself, what I think maybe the marketing team and all that kind of stuff saw this deck as is a really good entry level deck for very baby witches, younger people to come to the tarot in a way that feels very aligned. I mean, this reminds me of Modern Witch, I think. And as you can see, it's that, we've got a lot of young people, this feels like going off to college or senior year in high school, orgy on the beach. This is what it feels like to me. And so I've seen this a little bit around on social. That's a really cool the world card. But I haven't seen too many people working with it. Thank the stars above, it's fully illustrated. Got to get that Four of Swords. Interesting, there's a lot of baths in these swords. Oh, that's beautiful. We've all thought it, let's be honest. Really cool. Like, that is a really, really cool Eight of Swords. But again, here you're not necessarily seeing the swords. The swords are the spikes in the heart rate, but the swords are different here, right? They're fingers. The swords are different here. They're glass, but that's really cool as well. So it's a little fantasy. Oh, that's so cool. It's a little fantasy, but a little modern, like a gambling table. So I can see that this would definitely be a deck that a lot of people would be very drawn to. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. And yeah, it is gorgeous. So you're definitely getting a very well thought out deck. Like, this is well thought out. It doesn't feel like it's just been slapped together and lazily done. This has been designed properly to be a working deck. And if you're into the art style or not, if you're into the card stock or not, this I can bloody appreciate. This would be so fun to bring out. Like, I would take this to like a festival, you know, a music festival or a witchy festival, like Fairy World, something like that, or a conference or event. That would be something really cool. I think a lot of people are really drawn to it. You can see a lot of people who are younger, would be very drawn to this. I would have loved this, you know, when I came to the craft at 15. All those many, many, many moons ago. Gorgeous. Yeah, see, like this is completely readable. And I do like that the wands and everything, the pentacles, everything is sort of changed, and it's not just the pentacles. It's you know, the King of Swords. Here we have, for example, the cup, the lantern, we have the tea, but the sword is here, an open book, but it's also, it could be a walking stick. There's a lot in here to really go on. So I think what's done really well is the way, so 7 wands. Here, there's fish bones, there's a spoon, there's a straw. Like, it's done really cleverly, and I actually really appreciate that a lot. So this is the guidebook. That's a little bit about it. The magic is within you. And then we go into the cards, straight into the cards. And here, like the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords announces the unavoidable end of projects, relationships, and commitments. Okay, clouds over the sun, and the magic turns against the consultant to push them to abandon the path taken. The personality of these linked to the Ten of Swords is fierce and patient. They should be aware that loss can also signify a new beginning if they're able to come to terms with it. So it's you know, thought out, and it's got stuff you can actually use. And then before a reading, again, the sun is very bright, but you know what? We don't always get the sun here. So how to use the deck. So and then we've got some how to get your Arcana card. Yes, no, and then some spreads, laying your magic. This is a cute little deck. This looks like one of those decks too that might be, I think, looked over because it is a bit cutesy, but I actually feel like reading with this would be really fun. There are so many decks in my collection that I could pair this with. Right away, I'm thinking of like the Gjallarhorn Tarot, the Fae Tarot, anything like the Everyday Witch. Like, there's so many that could be brought into this, and I love witch decks. So find your magic. I think this is a lot deeper than people might expect on first go. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading with it. The Happy Halloween Tarot is by Sony Graves, and I have to say, I'm so hoping that the Morbid Mirror Oracle of Sony is going to be published by a publisher as well, because I backed this deck on Kickstarter when it was independent, and I'm super happy that it's gone mass market for many reasons. I can now put my Kickstarter deck away, and I can use this version. Great guidebook, and Sony has actually written it. Matte black edges, same mandala back. This has got the linen cardstock feel. And this is a Pip-esque deck, but I stinking love this deck so much. I mean, we all know I'm obsessed with Halloween, and I've shared this deck before. It was out this Halloween and it'll be out again, I'm sure, this Halloween, last Halloween. But that was my indie deck, so now I can put, this is probably one of my favorite high priestesses. Like, I love her. I have a sticker of that from the Kickstarter and it's on my iPad case. I love it so much. So the black, white and shades of oranges are done and yellows are done so well. And it makes me so happy because I just love everything Halloween. I especially love like cutesy Halloween. There's quite a few people that I follow, artists that I just adore, and this is gorgeous. I love the way that the borders, that's the word I was looking for, are done. It's just gorgeous and really well thought about, right? It's, again, not one of those throwaway themed decks. It's well done. So we have the moon, we have the two, they're not pillars, but they're felled trees. And we have the two wolves, we have the moon, the spider web. There's a lot in there that you can actually work with. The sunflowers with the big sun, the tall grass, the tall wheat. So I love that these angels are skeletons. It's just so rad. You know, we have the suits in each corner, and then we go into the actual suits, and we have the little numbers up with the bat at the top. And again, it is Pip-esque, you know, it does come a little bit more minimalistic, but I love the theme so much that I will overlook it. When I'm working with a Pip deck, which is rare, I have been working with the tarot for so long that it's very easy for me to recall information and to talk about the numerology. I mean, and even here, like the Nine of Wands, these are steps, right? And each one of these brooms is different. So I understand that not everyone is going to be able to work with it, but I love it. So the Page of Wands, I want to say that Sony is, this is Spanish. I really want to learn Spanish. Oh, so she's Chilean. So this is is Spanish for the page. I loved Chile. And not Chile, I mean like the actual place. The Knight. Queen. I mean, isn't she beautiful? I want that dress. I want that besom. And then the King. Yes, look at the ghost. Like, I can't. It's so beautiful. And very, very, very happy that this deck is mass market. Like, so happy. Such a great page. I've read with this a lot, not this mass market edition, but I've read with this deck a ton and it reads beautifully. I pair it with lots of different Halloween decks. This pairs beautifully with the 78 Tarot's Halloween deck and Oracle deck. Because this is a very cohesive one artist, what I was doing was pulling one or two cards from the 78 Tarot Halloween deck and then doing the rest of the reading with this and then pulling an oracle from their oracle deck, because at that time I didn't have the Morbid Mirror Oracle. I did get it from someone on Tarot Marketplace. I just haven't opened it. And it read beautifully. I mean, how can you not love that? If you opened my kitchen cabinet here, you'll see I have a million different, nothing matches. We're not that household that has like matching furniture and matching this, that. It is very maximalist and I have a lot of different Halloween mugs and things like that. Like every year I'm terrible. Jordan's like, we have no room, and we don't have any room. But I still do it. I'm collecting ghost mugs. So, and pumpkin mugs. But yeah. I know you're probably all so used to me gushing over Halloween and ghosties and cute little things, but it's in my soul. It's like this Halloween, spooky, mysterious, hag of the woods, and then other part of me is Care Bears and rainbows and strawberry shortcake. Typical Gemini and child of the 80s. Just beautiful. So happy. And the beautiful black matte edges is a lovely finish here. Interesting. This is meant to have black glitter edges. I'll have to, is it glittery? Oh, it is sort of glittery, but it's very fine. But that's funny. I was like, I thought it was going to be much more glittery. Oh my gosh, English words speaking so hard. Much more of a sparkle, but I'm okay with it being this more matte. I wonder if that was on purpose. I'll have to ask the publisher. I'm never mad when a deck goes mass market after a Kickstarter, especially like I got my deck a long time ago and then this came out, you know what I mean? So it's not like I got my deck after it went mass market. So I think it's fantastic that you can get these decks after the fact at more reasonable cost. So page or daughter, knight or son, queen or mother, and king or father. And then about the deck. See, it was like 2021. Yeah, and it's just, I love. So we have here the full, and then we have some questions. So everything is really, like there's so much information in here too. Learning to ride a unicycle was hard enough. Now pumpkins are being piled up and this skeleton is starting to feel off balance. Like it's so fabulous. It's just so great. Got some notes here, and then we have some spreads. I've had a good time. Obviously, this is going to come out again this Halloween. I love it. I can't recommend this enough for people who love the vibe. So that's the Happy Halloween Tarot. The Elemental North Tarot is by C.A. Mallard and illustrated by Amanda Noteman. And I do have to say, when I saw this deck, it's been one of those decks where I've been like, it's going to be interesting to see the application of it because I love the concept, but I was like, how readable is this going to be? So I'm really looking forward to diving into it. What I do love is that it has runes, numerology, astrology, and elements in it. So it could be a fabulous learning deck, depending on if you agree with the associations. It comes in a lovely big box because the book, okay, I'm just going to put that away. The book is quite substantial, and we're going to get into that after. But I do love that it is full color, heavy paper. I adore the backs with the protection sigil. The color is really beautiful. It's standard tarot size and it's pretty standard tarot cardstock. The cards are matte, a little bit of sheen, but you can't see your fingerprints, which is the big one for me. And I love that I'm wearing like my snake ring, and there's a snake here. So let's go through the cards. And as you can see, this is all about symbols and runes. And so like we've got the Uranus astrology. And we have Mercury. So it's going to be interesting to go through this while reading. But here we have like the pomegranates. We have the triple goddess. We have the 2 crescent moons. So I can see that this has got a lot of symbols in there. It almost has like a geometrical tattoo feel to it. You know, like a lot of people have these alchemical symbols for the elements on their bodies, like tattooed on their bodies. So this is what it really reminds me of. And I do feel like it's going to really resonate with specific, group of people, and people who want to study the symbols in the deck, maybe the astrology. Yeah, it's going to have a very specific vibe. Love the Tower card. Weird thing to say, but I do love that. The Star card is really pretty too. So these elemental symbols are almost like portals into something else, right? Something is coming through it. And as someone who's cast Circle more times than I can count, Magical Circle, and brought in the elements, you can see them coming into your circle through an elemental doorway. And it could be done through the elemental symbol, or you can use the elemental pentacles to do that. So I understand the premise through this. And it's consistent all the way through the deck. So even in the minors, see, like the majors aren't done any more than the minors, which I really like, because it's frustrating when like a deck does so much with the majors and then the minors are sort of like they don't feel like they're from the same deck, unless it's a Marseille inspired where it's very purposeful. But everything is very consistently designed all the way through. Really lovely night. I like that one too. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, how can you not love a shaggy freaking cow? These are also reminds me of a lot of like wall hangings. You can't see my house, but I have like beautiful, lots of wall hangings, lots of sun catchers. Bounce the light off around the house. Something I always mention, or I think I mentioned pretty consistently, is this readable? Like, do I feel like this deck could be read with? And I will say yes to this for sure. This will definitely work with people who like a more minimalistic deck and don't necessarily like a lot of people in their decks. Like there's symbols of there's the skulls there's helmets, but there's not actual people. There are, animals. That's a really great King of Wands. It could stump people who are brand new. One of the major benefits of the Rider-Waite and even the Thoth system is that the people actually help a beginner relate, and put themselves in that situation, or that they've seen that situation themselves, or they've seen that happening. So this being love otters, this being a symbolic more animal deck, could stump new people. I love that Queen of Cups too. Oops, but I will say, dropped out of my head, I will say at least there's a lot in the minimal design to go on. Okay, so let's have a look at the guidebook. Okay, so the introduction. So there are the runes, the geometric shapes, symbols, numerology, and elements. So here we go. Toward the end of the book, starting on page 119, you will find supplementary information on planetary and astrological associations of tarot, numerological and elemental correlations, a guide to the Norse runes, and some hints on spell work. So the other thing, as we can see here, is that they recommend maybe you could do some spell work with the book. So these are all it's quite a lot of, I mean, if you're going to put that much in there, you probably should have quite a bit of information. So I do like that was thought about and done very well. It's a beautiful, beautiful layout because we have all the symbols easily found, right? You can see them on the sides. That is very, very well done. So I appreciate the heck out of that. And the reason why, right? It's not just slapped in there. It's like, okay, so the High Priestess, Fihu, is connected to wealth and a symbol of the High Priestess's status. She's a well of knowledge and well-respected, honoured part of the tarot, and she demands to be seen as such. And whether that's a rune that you would put with that card or not, we have her here as well in the Empress, which is, I would absolutely say, connects. At least they give you a reason, there's a reason why this is put there. And so if you're looking to work with runes in the tarot, this would definitely be a good place to start. Whether you agree with it or not, there's going to be a lot in here that you can play with. Great book. I would have to read it to obviously, to know whether that's something that would sort of sit with my understanding of those correspondences, but my goodness, does it give you a lot of meat to chew and things to really think about. So that is the Elemental North Tarot. I would love to hear, really love to hear if anyone's been working with this deck and how you've been finding it, because it's so unique and I haven't seen anything on the market like it. So let me know. This is the Botanical Dreams Oracle by Lynn Arjo, and the art is by Katrin Wellstein, and this is the same creator as the Tarot of the Mystical Moments. I've really been looking forward to this deck. I love all of my Mystical Moments created work in this beautiful digital collage. It's a really beautiful book. Okay, love these backs, this stained glass art deco, I want to say. Forgive me if I'm not getting the art reference correct. So I actually already filmed the cards and then realized that most of them were out of frame. So I'm doing it again. So sorry, it's going backwards, but I didn't want to just leave it the way it was. So I talk about the unbelievable skill, talent, and ability of Katrina to do this work, or Katrin, sorry, and how I love this artwork, and I really enjoy a lot of the prompts. And I think that it's going to work beautifully well with a lot of decks in the autumn, winter, especially early winter season. I already know that it will work really well with all of the other decks that Katrin has done. Beautiful. The blending of the backgrounds, I'm not a digital artist. I would love to be. Put that on one of the long lists of skills I would love to learn this lifetime. It's I only have so much time, but it's not easy for it to look this easy and to look this seamless. It's not. And there are a lot of digital art collage decks out there. This is not AI, for those of you who don't maybe completely understand the difference. AI is when something is completely generated by a prompt. Digital art is when an artist is sitting there blending and working and stamping and painting and doing all sorts of stuff that takes a lot of time and effort and skill. There's a human driver, and I think that Katrin is one of the best out there at this. I mean, Danielle Knoll obviously is also another very, very good one. And Lynn always writes just beautiful. This is one of my favorite cards. The little guidebooks. But I didn't want it to be all cut, so I am showing you the art again. And I know the sun is doing its thing. So if you see here, like if I put it in the shade there, then I bring it to the light, some of it is a little half and half, but it doesn't take away from you being able to see how beautiful the cards are. So that's a band of light, by the way, there. Like how gorgeous this is. It's very much like a old English cottage that you go to for a Jane Austen retreat or a writing retreat, and you enjoy, you know, being in that space. I did stop on this card as well and talked about the Spider Woman and how spiders aren't my zhuzh. You know, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm from Australia and we have a lot of spiders. But I love that she's holding it and that the skirt goes into the wheel. So there's a lot of really beautiful symbols in this. This is such a gorgeous card too. So, like, look at those cool pants. Like, I want those pants. I want that outfit, including the hibiscus head piece. I also love that dress. The skirt and the dress. Look, the pants are back. These pants are for everything. I don't know how to sew, but if I did, I would be wearing palazzo pants like that. This is so gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, it's going straight into my collection. And yeah, I can't wait to start working with it. So I'm glad I got to show you the actual cards again without it being out of frame. So they're not laminated. It's a standard US Games cardstock. It is a little glossy, but not, you know, terribly glossy. It is so beautiful. Now the guidebook. The cards, and we go right into it. So we have a little bit of information and then like a little piece of advice. And then we have some spreads. Oh, I like that. Card 2 and 3 suggest that you consider two aspects of your spiritual growth that may be working either in concert or contrast. What a sweet deck. This is obviously going to pair up really well with the Tarot of the Mystical Moments. And I'm really, really happy to have this deck in my collection. The Luminescent Oracle is by Anna Neves, and this box is really sweet. I really like the way that it's so easy now with this design. Whoever came up with that, well done. So it is a smaller box again. Gorgeous, very simple backs. How many cards? 44 cards of fearless female warriors. And we have a little guidebook, so we'll get to that after we look through the cards. Really gorgeous. It is the standard cardstock for US Games, and it's really beautiful. Now, this reminds me very much of fantasy books. So, you know, A Court of Thorns and Roses or Roses and Thorns or whatever adaptation. The artwork is really pretty. This reminds me of my card in the Awakened Soul Oracle, Secret or Silence with the key in the door. Might be Silence. So yes, this reminds me of A Court of that one, Akatar or whatever. And I've read the first 3 books, and then I was just like, I'm done. The art is, I mean, seriously, like this is like, if you've read those books, you know, right? The ship's coming in, almost like this cauldron. I know it's not that, but it feels very that. But I mean, I will Like this really reminds me of it. Is anybody else getting this? No, maybe just me. But a beautiful. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm saying this as like, if you really love like those fantasy worlds, this is probably something you would really, really be drawn to. Like the priestess, what's her freaking name? Like that could be definitely her. Yeah, so it's just, it reminds me of it. Very beautiful artwork. The detail in this artwork is stunning. It's gorgeous. Like the amount of work that has gone into these paintings, I can only imagine. Beautiful growth card. And they're really quite striking. I mean, you could go into each one of these characters and what's her story. But as you can see too, they are very fantasy warrior women, right? So very all, that's a really cool persistence card. You know, one type of body shape, mostly very, you know, they're all very beautiful. Again, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with beauty, but it's definitely one of those things where you'd have to be okay with that. And there are plenty of decks that are like that. I mean, this, yeah, screams A Court of Thorn and Ruins, even with the mask and everything. So you'd have to be like really into the fact that it is this very, very specific type of artwork. They are hand-painted cards, and I really enjoy that. And as you know, like I always am supporting and sharing art that is only human created. And digital art is human art. I'm talking about, I don't do AI. Really gorgeous. So then we have the spreads here. So there's quite a few. And then we go into the card meanings. And this is written by the artist. So we have the keyword that's on the card, done by alphabetical order, and then 3 other key energies, and then a little bit of information. So I love that it's written by the artist. I do feel this is definitely for a very specific demographic, and the artwork is simply stunning. That would be one thing that I would say is just, it is really, really beautiful. But as I was saying, it is definitely for a specific demographic who likes, I guess, that fantasy warrior type. And yeah, definitely if you like A Court of Thorns and Roses and Bat Boys. But there's no Bat Boys in here. They're just beautiful women. This is the Herbana Witch Oracle, art by Alice Guidi, and written by Celia Latari. I'm so sorry if I butchered either of your names. And this is a 50-card deck. I've seen this quite a bit, and I was really looking forward to going through it. I already love the book because, you know, owls. And I really enjoy the backs with these gorgeous little birds. Really, really cute. Okay, so again, standard size for an Oracle deck for US games. Great cardstock. It's a little bit more cardboardy, I do have to say, than some of the other ones. The margin. That's a really cool prompt. The Witch Herbana. What is wild? And it is a very, I guess, like, this reminds me of a lot of books that are out on the market right now, like with the illustrated witchy books and things like that, and I see it a lot in stores because I'm in bookstores a lot because I love bookstores. I really love the spirits around juniper. But I feel like I'm running into the same issue that I had with the other one, the Greenwich Oracle, where you have cards like these, and then you have a card like the Wolf, and it just kind of is like, could we not put the same amount of kind of artistic effort? Because like mistletoe, there's so much around the magic and the myth of mistletoe and why you kiss under the mistletoe, and you know why that's given as a gift at winter. And and again, this is just me, and I'm not saying it's not beautiful. The deck is beautiful, but I just wish, like, look again, it's like candles and then rest. There's a lot more to go here. You know, there's a nest, there's a pine tree with a pine cone. You have the silver birch trees. There's just a lot more to go on than a tea light candle, a taper candle. You know, I know that is just me. Like here, like spring. Oh my gosh, the snail. And then we come back to this, and I get that they're meant to be. I think these are meant to be like suits. But it's like, it could still be suits. Like you could still have this color as the dominant, but maybe like just putting a little, like the apple tree. Oh my gosh, any witch out there knows just how much, like how sacred apples are in pretty much every pagan offshoot, you know, and the star in the middle, you know, the myth of like golden apples, the different types. It's just like, I like the moth, but it's, yeah, I don't know. This is just me. I do like, see, like even that's got a little bit more with the axes and the swords and the daggers. My favorite things ever. Spirit stones. I love them so much. I have like a full collection of hag stones. I love them. But yeah, I don't know, like the fairies, like that's the card for the fairies. Gosh, maybe I'm being just a bit of I really like this teacup. The hair, like the art style is so cool. I just wish, like obviously this is spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring in the suits, but I do wish that there was a little bit more put in some of these. And I don't know. And it's like, why is one done with more than the other? I don't know. That's beautiful, that runes card. And see, some of them are so cool. Goddess Demeter, the lizard, and some of them are just like, But I do know that this is very much like anyone who's maybe bought like the Cozy Witch tarot decks, which are gorgeous, and the Oracle deck. And a lot of witch books out there are very much aligned to this sort of vibe. And so I get it, and it is beautiful. And honestly, if it had a little bit more in the other cards, I would love this deck so much. But I have to be like honest in the way that I feel about those sorts of, some cards are thought about and some cards aren't. Okay, so this is brought through by another publisher through US Game Systems. And so we have how to use the deck, A Year in the Forest. So as I mentioned, I suspected it was about the seasons, and then how to use the deck. And then we jump into the cards, and it's, oh, thank God they have that, because it's in order that it came in, like as if you're doing it through the year. And then there's no spreads or anything. So I think that this is So here we go. Here are some ideas. Wander into a forest and select a leaf from a beloved tree placed among the cards. Gather wildflowers and lay them atop a deck for a duration of full moon. Okay, so this is how to bless it. So yeah, I do feel like this would be really cute for like baby witches or people who are just getting into oracle work. But yeah, I do wish that it had a little bit more meat to some of the stuff in the guidebook, because the idea is fantastic, and a little bit more detail in some of the cards, because when they do you know, these cards like this, it's beautiful, but then, you know, you come across, you know, something like that, and it just feels like you're not even working with the same deck. Is that just me? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But that is the Herbana Witch Oracle. Land of Giants Oracle deck is by Stephen Hutton, and this is another deck from, I believe, the book series. Abandoned long ago by its human residents, Whitworth Hall in northern England is now inhabited by the small folk who took over the estate and renamed it Lockhart. So this is a 42-card oracle. And then we have the guidebook. I have not read any of the books, but I'm kind of interested now to see if that's something that maybe I can read with my son. We do a lot of reading together. We just finished book 2 of the Addison Cook, which is like a junior Indiana Jones. It's very good if you're looking for a book to read with your kiddo. My son is 10 and a half, and I wanted to be Indiana Jones. So we really have been enjoying those. So maybe this is another book series I can look up. Beautiful backs, very, very simple. I'd rather a simpler back than, I guess, not. I'm going to go through the guidebook with you after we go through the cards. I'm already obsessed with this because it has this little snail and it says animate, and it has all this animal life coming from it. Oh, it is so beautiful. This artwork is so stunning. I'm just going to check that. So I'm pretty sure that Stephen has done both. Oh my gosh, look at the house. For Jennifer Kaplan. So I believe that that's probably someone who is connected to the late Stuart Kaplan. May he rest in power. Oh my gosh. The artwork is, oh my goodness. I love fae folk that look like this. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Spiderwick Chronicles, how they look. And oh my God. And it is adorable. Are they strawberry bears? I'm dead. I'm absolutely dead. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Climbing the scale. Now I really have to go and find these books. Oh, I'm obsessed. There's this book, not this book, there's this video game that Jordan and I played called It Takes Two. And if you have, it's on everything, PlayStation, Steam, Switch, Xbox, and you have to play together as two parents who are going through a divorce. And basically, you know, the little girl is experiencing the arguments and everything. And she makes a wish and she turns her two parents into these dolls. And these dolls have to find a way back to, you know, become human again. But they're doing it through the experiences of the daughter. So one of the levels is like her bedroom. One of the levels is in like a snow globe. Anyway, it's amazing. It's about healing trauma, talking to each other. I think every parent should play this, even if they haven't gone through a separation or not. It's just beautiful. And this reminds me of that. Look, the labyrinth reminds me of the labyrinth. So, yeah, fantastic. So It Takes Two. So I'm definitely going to be, these fae I love that they're little, you know, Brian Froud esque with the way that nature is brought into the design. Oh, wow. This is going to be such a great deck to work with for, inner child and healing that. I feel like this will work beautifully with the Fairy Tale Tarot. Thankfully, US Game Systems is reprinting this one with Lisa Hunt, so this would work really, really beautifully with that. And oh my gosh, these little beings. I also feel, this reminds me again of another one of the levels. This is also like, look how deep that is. Love this. This might be one of my favorite new Oracle decks. There was another deck of this series, I believe. I'm going to have to look it up. Like, look at these little beings. I want to know about them. Old Master. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm sure that there is a bunch of the story in these that I don't know, but I can still get a lot out of this. It's a sausage dog caterpillar and I'm here for it. and I love that. I love that I don't necessarily need to know what's going on, but some of this will click as well while I'm looking through it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, the gargoyle. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Holy gorgeous. Wow, wow, wow. The skill in the art here. Look at this image. Yearning. Yellow dragon. Oh, demolition. Yourself. This is stunning. Stunning, stunning. I can't wait to work with it. Okay, so this is a little bit of about the background, and then we go into the cards, but I'm definitely going to look up. Oh, here we go, look. So we have the spreads all around the house. Oh my gosh, I love that. Top to bottom, Trinity of Days. And then the master plan. I love that. So this is it here. So Ravenswand Oracle, US Game Systems based upon his fantasy novels, and later Land of Giants Oracle for the same publisher. The Tarot of Bob, about a plastic duck that sails around the world. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. So I'm going to look up that, and I'm going to see about the Ravenswand Oracle as well. This is the Land of Giants, and I want to dive into this land and meet some of these gorgeous creatures, and I can't wait to work with it. This is the Gjallarhorn deck, a Norse Oracle deck, and this is by Matt Hughes. And I just went to open it because I knew it would be shrink wrapped. So we have a beautiful big box, very much like the, oh my gosh, the other deck that the circus one, you all know what I'm talking about. And it comes like this. So there are 3 suits. So before I open the plastic, I just want to show you. So I have a feeling, I haven't looked through this, but I have a feeling this is going to be deities, runes, and these are going to be other like magical items or other important things in Norse mythology. So I'm going to open them now, but I wanted to show you that it does actually come in those 3 specific suits. So I feel like that's going to mean something. So I'm going to look at the book first, which is not something I normally do, but I want to see, before I jump into the cards, the way that this is laid out. So concept and editing, and then written by Gillian Christina, and then illustrated and decorated by Matt. How to use this oracle. It's a tool, an extension of you. You'll notice this oracle is separated into 3 parts: runes, deities, and sigils. Okay, so that's pretty close. These parts can be used alone or together depending on how you're called to interact with them. 3 card spreads can be employed utilizing an aspect on its own. Okay, and then we've got 3 spread suggestions, a beginner, intermediate, advanced card draw. So here, the runes, and then the deities, and then the sigils. So you don't necessarily have to, I guess, have them separate, but it is really, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to reading this because, again, like it's Mattermore, by the way, like that deck, there is quite a lot in here. So I feel like this is going to be a wonderful way if you're looking to work with runes and Norse deity. What a lovely active tool to work with to get to know it. So let's have a look at the actual cards. We're going to start with the runes. Now, I apologize in advance if I mispronounce anything. I do my best, but I know I'll probably say some things wrong, so please don't come at me too much. It's a kind of a dark grey back with these beautiful knotwork. And then it's linen finish, and it's all stamped. So I'm just going to move these. So Fehu, wealth. Again. And I've stopped. Ruzel, yeah, I'm not going to do that, guys. Sorry, you're just going to do it yourself because I don't know it well enough. But we have the keyword underneath. I do prefer my rune cards without the keyword because after doing some workshops with Scandinavian and Nordic region people, I understand that there's a lot more to the actual rune than just like one concept, but I understand that this is trying to narrow it down for like maybe the beginner to kind of get this big concept into something smaller. And remembering this is a language, these are letters as well. So the design around the runes is consistent. And because we have the title and everything down the bottom, you'll know if it's, I mean, this can't be, Isa or Isa can't actually be reversed because it's a straight line. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it means when the rune is upside down. Earwise, again, should stop because I don't know. But nice and big rune. This would have been beautiful too as like a round rune deck. I don't know how a lot of people feel about round decks, but it just would have been like that design is really sweet. I have a few rune decks, I do have to admit. Okay, so those are the runes. Now let's move to the deities, and this is where you're going to see much more of Matt Hughes, I guess, like iconic art. Like if you have any of the decks, these would be beautiful altar cards as well. Surtur, Tor, Sif, Screaming Goats. What's really annoying is after playing the God of War games, I actually knew how to pronounce a lot of these, and then I haven't played them in so long I've forgotten. Because the world snake is in it a lot. Tyr, Valkyrie, Fenrir, Mimir, Loki. That's a beautiful hell. Balder. Really gorgeous. Valhi. Oder. Helmenda. Gosh, I love this freaking squirrel. Love this squirrel that tends the world tree. And the squirrel in the game is so fun. Ratiska, I think it is. pronouncing that incorrectly. Love the freaking squirrel. Love it, love it, love it. And then we have the sigils. The Valnorn, Isidril, Mania. And that's where I stop. The Horn Triskelion. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Beautiful sigils. And I haven't worked a lot with the Norse sigils. And what's interesting is here is like the sigils don't have a keyword, but the runes do, which is interesting. Like, I don't know what that means. I know this one. But yeah, that's an interesting perspective to have. And then we have, I love this, teeth grinder and teeth snarler. Love it. Is it Jorgmunda? Retiska. Okay, so here we have luck, balance and support, Odin's spear, focus and precision. So we have quite a bit in here. This is going to be perfect for someone who wants to work with the Norse pantheon and the alphabet of that region and get to know it. So this is a really interesting concept. It is a 62 card deck. I'd love to know if anyone's worked with this and what your experience has been. I also want to say I just had a look at the contributors back here. There are some damn good contributors here. So, for example, Dr. Jackson Crawford. If you don't know who that person is, go check them out on YouTube. They have got fantastic videos on the runes, Norse work, honestly, really. This person, everything has been really, really well researched too. So you're not just getting, as I was mentioning, this is a working system. So you're getting quite a lot of bang for your buck, as well as an oracle deck and a rune deck. Totally great. In my not so humble opinion, really good contributors. Dream Song Oracle is by Marta Olaska and written by Angie Salins. And this is one of the decks that come in this beautiful box here by, I can't remember the name of their studio, but I'll get there. But this is a beautiful box. And of course it comes with the little pouch. I have already opened this deck because I have actually already worked with it. So, only a little bit though. So a lot of it is still kind of a first impression, but it is, look at these backs. I mean, holy mollikins, so beautiful. Gold gilding, great cardstock. This reminds me of some of the work that the Tower of the Mystic Moments, very similar to Catherine's work. And it reminds me a little bit of, oh my gosh, Jessica Ruse as well. Like if it was a collaboration or a mixing of those two art styles. Trying to make sure that this light that just keeps changing, because you know nature, you can still see the cards. Enter the conversation. It's so pretty. I do like that the prompts are a statement and not just a word. And we all have decks that just have words, right? Learn from the bees. I mean, facts. But I do love that this has got a different take on it because, shed the tears. Honestly, I tell people that all the time. You need to go to the well of unshed tears and you need to release them. And I really appreciate that this has got the actual statement, because then it allows you to work with it in a different way. If it was just feminine, then there's a lot that can go into that. But when you say court the feminine, it becomes more succinct. It becomes more focused. And this artwork is really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. But I do like this art style. Again, because it reminds me of the work by Katrin. Really, really pretty. Inhale permission, exhale relief. Like, how gorgeous is that statement, let alone how beautiful that card is. Bubble your boundaries. It's so great. And yeah, you know, like, look, it's a jackalope person. But maybe it's not a jackalope. I don't think it's a jackalope because it's not a bunny. But you know what I mean. Grow wild. Tell a new story. Fly the wings of worthiness. So I really enjoy this, that it is a different perspective here. Kick up your heels. Abracadabra, bitches. That lighthouse is beautiful. This makes me feel of fall. I could see this working really well with Wilhelmina's deck. I feel like this would definitely come out around that time. Grow your wishes. Grab your monster by the tail. That's right. And tell it to fuck right off. I love that, like, we're going here, look, from the darkness into the light and this play of shadow. Indulge in whimsy. Turn your back. Let it burn. Oh, cuddle and cradle. Makes me want to go cuddle my puppy. What, the subconscious? Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Go dark. Have tea with the birds and hope they don't poop in it. Oh, look at that. Wow, bring the exile home. And that could be you. You know, that could be an aspect of yourself that has been exiled, that you have left away, that you have moved away, and it's asking you to bring it home. Like, there's just so much in these statements. Get your brave on. And unfurl the wings of forgiveness. Really gorgeous. This is definitely a deck that I'm going to be working with. I'm definitely holding on to. In the guidebook, that's right, it's Dergwa Studios. Probably saying that completely incorrectly. And then how to use the deck. Oh, my book is a bit skewy, that's okay. And then we move into the cards which have the number as well. So very easy to find. Very, very reminiscent of everything else from this studio, where you just get a little bit of information in the full card. And then we have the artist here. And then the author. And then there's some music too. That's pretty cool. But it is, yeah, what a gorgeous deck, and something I know I will absolutely be working with in the fall, because it very much feels like that time of, or at least late summer, preparing for the shift. So that's the Dream Song Oracle. Which one was your favorite? Do you have any of these decks, or are they on your wish list? Please let me know in the comments below. Comments are free. They help my channel so much, and so does a little thumbs up. So if you can do that, that would be amazing. I would love to hear if you are like me and still have some decks that are maybe unopened from last year, and I will see you all next time.